Hi guys, it's going to be fairly quick today because there's builders across the road and whichever room I'm in there's noise, so I can talk really quickly, hopefully get through what I want to say today, and then next week something a bit more exciting. This week I want two things. One, I just learned that there's a lock on memory cards which I had never realised before. It's like with the old floppy disks, there's a little switch at the side. I had been uploading some photos that I took at the weekend over at my mum's. You can find those over on my Facebook channel. And I thought, okay, I'll take the film out, put it on, put it back in. And I tried to set up today and it went, my memory card was locked. And I was like, what? What have I done? Help. And then I noticed there's still a little tiny minuscule little tag on the side that sort of flips up and down, so learn something new every day. But today I want to talk about rejection, because I posted the other day on, it was on my Facebook page, on my Twitter, I'd got a rejection and I was feeling quite down about it, and then I had a good chat to a different friend, and I think I just needed that few minutes and somebody to talk a bit of common sense to me. And it's not the, first of all, it's not the fault of the person that did the rejecting. It was my reaction, and I think we've all been there. You write a story, and occasionally you write a story you really like. You think, I've done well with this one. This one's going to be brilliant, and you submit it somewhere, and they reject it, and the rejection had some constructive feedback with it. Didn't agree with all their constructive feedback, but then again, that was the way they read it, not the way that I'd read it or the way that my beta readers had read it. So that, to an extent, that's a personal thing of whether it's a genre or not you're really into. And that was the issue. It wasn't anything to do with the story. It was that the genre of the writing didn't fit with what they wanted. So, but I think we sometimes get a little, I don't know what, I can't think of the word now, but you almost think, okay, well, I know I'm going to be alright with this journal submitting there, or I'm going to be alright putting this there, or sending this to this person. And when sometimes that doesn't quite work out, I think it's like a double whammy, because you question your own judgment as much as anything else. And that was definitely what I was doing. I was thinking, oh God, have I, and it wasn't. It was just that, I like this particular journal, so I wanted to send this into them. But I think even when I was sending it into them, part of me probably knew that it wasn't the right place to send it to. Now the annoying bit is that because of their requirements compared to the genre requirements, I've got to find about another 1,500 words for what was initially a flash fiction, because they don't really, the magazines that it would fit for don't really sort of take flash fiction. They need short stories. So that means that I'm going to have to make some decisions about how I do that, whether I do that, what I do with it, whether I look at other market options. I've just recently signed back up to Duotrope, and for anybody that's not aware of Duotrope, basically it's a listing thing, and you pay, it's $5 a month, so it works out at about £2.70. And for that it tells you all the magazines and journals that are looking for submissions. It tells you what they expect, what they're looking for, how they want you to submit. It also tells you whether they pay or not. I mean, that's the irony, that the magazine I submitted to is a magazine that doesn't pay. A journal that doesn't pay. And yet the ones that I will be now submitting to, if I decide to go ahead with that, are actually going to be paying markets. So there's a chance that it might work out much better for me in the long run anyway. But I think that initial rejection thing, sometimes we know we're going to get rejected. We accept that. We, are in shock if we don't get rejected. I mean, it's like I've submitted Queen of Ages, my novel, first part of my trilogy, to a publisher's. And I know I have to wait 3 months before I know whether or not they're bothered. If I don't hear anything in 3 months, they're not interested. I'm not even guaranteed to actually get a rejection email, which I actually think is a little bit rude. I will be honest there. I do think if they've gone through it, even if it's a standard form email they send out, that they should just say, sorry, we read it, good luck, try somebody else. But that's not the way it works. So even if you're applying for jobs these days, you're not like guaranteed to get a rejection letter. So I think, you know, it would be nice if manners existed out there in the interworld, but they don't always, do they? Let's face it. But like I say, I expect that to get rejected. I don't expect somebody, I don't know, I don't really expect somebody to read it and fall in love with it the way I did when I was writing it. But it could happen. But I'm not getting my hopes up. This story, I allowed myself to get complacent, to believe that it was going to be accepted. And that's not their fault, that's mine. That's mine for not really thinking through where I was submitting it and whether or not it was going to fit. And I think that's something we all have to do. I've done it before with that MASH story. I completely got wrong why they didn't like that one. I thought it was because it didn't fit the genre, wasn't clever enough. And it wasn't that, it was just that they thought it was the sort of setup for a bigger story and it wasn't an actual self-contained flash fiction. So the one good thing I can take is I'm getting so many positives back, even with rejections, that I feel good most of the time. But yeah, onwards, upwards, and carry on writing. So that's it for this week. I don't know what I will be telling you about next week. I really don't at this point. I'm loving the A to Z challenge, and I just need to win a lottery and be able to, well, probably about a triple rollover by now actually, to go to all these places. And thank you so much to everybody that's visiting as part of it. And you know, I know that I've got some great travelling companions out there if I need some. So, and hopefully, you know, I've had a couple of offers if I get to certain countries to go meet up with people, which would be brilliant. But I just have to get there first. Okay then, I'll speak to you all later. Bye!